Howdy, y'all. This is Judah Ross, also known as the Bastrop Realtor. And I got really sick of searching on Bastrop or searching on YouTube for Bastrop and seeing these two faces come up. So we're gonna we're gonna do a reaction video, and you'll have to put up with my cough. um, a real Bastrop Realtor reacts to the pros and cons of living in Bastrop, moving to Bastrop, best Austin suburb, by Austin, Texas living Tiffany Moore broker. Pros and cons of living in Bastrop, moving to Bastrop, best Austin suburb. Let's take a peek, dive into this. You can tell, by the way, that I am a real Texan and a real Bastropian because I'm wearing this hat. She doesn't have that. But let's take a peek. We'll do a little background here. So I like that she breaks the video up into chapters. Kudos for doing that. This was published in mid 22. She has 5,000 reviews. Not a whole lot of us Bastropians doing videos on local real estate. So not a lot of competition. If you're planning to move to Austin, you've probably heard of the Austin suburb Bastrop. I don't know if that's true. Most people, there's plenty of people in Austin that haven't heard of us. Bastrop is one of the best cities near Austin. You're right about that. With everyone moving to Austin area, some folks are looking for a slower pace than Bastrop. It's built with lots of outdoor activities, fun things for the family to do. This may be the perfect place for you to live, just outside of Austin. Written for SEO, and she's done a pretty good job of that. She's a YouTuber. Okay, thanks. Good information. How do you think the Main Street downtown Georgetown is in Bastrop? All right, let's get into it. All right, hold on. I gotta look this lovely young lady up. Tiffany Moore, broker. Who is she? She's Rise and Shine Realty. 7 reviews. Okay. Love life, be home, Austin, Texas. Man, buy or sell your home without the stress. That's cool. Find the right place, right home at the right price. High standard. Look, she's a good marketer. Rest. I think my is this charging? Fuck it. Hopefully the audio. Yeah, they were still good. She's definitely worked in marketing. Let's see. Electric Oak built her website. That's pretty good. Bad. IBS. So she's she's a broker. That's cool. She's got a YouTube. She's got a blog. Transformation transactions. I hope people live a life they love. Beautiful. That's what it's all about. All right. Let's jump into it. I know you came for the reaction.
A lot of people are griping that Austin
So you're reading a script?
has changed. Austin's not what it used to be. And really, people have been saying that for decades now. So this isn't really anything new. But if you are looking for that old time Austin vibe, I'm going to tell you how you can get it without jumping into a DeLorean and traveling back to 1955. I'm talking about buying a home and moving to Bastrop. So Bastrop is located about 30 miles southeast of Austin, and it's considered part of the greater Austin metropolitan area. It's known as the most historic small town in Texas because it has over 130 designated historical sites. And it's really funny.
That's cool. I always thought the phrase what the fuck does it mean most historic town? But Thank you. That's good information.
Bastrop was really kind of a slept on town until earlier this year. I literally had 5 people reach out to me in 1 week asking me about Bastrop and if it's somewhere that they should consider. And I really got into it and I found out Bastrop is actually really cool. So today we're going to talk about pros and
We are really cool, believe it or not. We're not lame,
cons of
as
Bastrop.
many people believe.
By the way, my name is Tiffany Moore with Rise and Shine Realty. I put out videos every single week showcasing the market here in Austin, Texas. So if you want to make sure to stay on top of what's going on in the current market, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you want to get my free guide on how to buy your first home in Austin, comment below and I will send you the link. Pro number one, quality of life. So Bastrop was recognized in 2019 by the American Planning Association as one of the best places to live in Texas. It's basically got everything you're looking for when you want a nice place to live. Safe neighborhoods.
American Planning Association. Urban planning. Oh boy, we can open up a whole Pandora's box. Okay.
Beautiful surroundings, nice housing. It really has this mom and pop vibe to it. And folks that live here are looking to stay under the radar and out of the city life that Austin has become known for. There are
fuck that jazz. Got no traffic. Well, comparatively little. No, it's a very friendly vibe, very cool, authentic people. Um, Californians haven't discovered it yet for the most part. It's pretty cool.
restaurants, breweries, distilleries, wineries, bars and restaurants on the water.
Yeah, we've got an excellent distillery, Copper Shop. We don't really have wineries. We have a really good wine bar, Cana. Um, Breweries, we have one out in Smithville that I hear is kind of lame. I think another one just opened though. But we do have the Main Street has, I wouldn't call it a brewery, but I don't know, brew pub. Some of the bars they brew their own and they do good, like 602. But we don't have breweries like Austin has breweries. Great opportunity though.
Water and bakeries tucked into little corners downtown.
We got some great bakeries. Bearded Baker, by the way, #1. This is coming from the Bearded Realtor.
And live music is a really big part of life here too. And we're going to talk about
That is true. All the cool people have moved out here, like in the past decade, because Austin's not cool anymore and not affordable. So we have a ton of just amazing musicians. Some very well known with big history, and younger ones. But it's an awesome vibe.
about that a little bit later. So, pro number two is cost of living, and this is a really big one. When you compare the cost of living in Austin proper to Bastrop, Bastrop is a really affordable option. So, in June of 2022, the median home sales price.
Yeah. So I mean, when you say cost of living, there's a lot of factors that go into that aside from sales price and home sales price, and while we're certainly far less than what Austin is. It's highly inflated here as well. um, and Austin's kind of right now. Bastrop's still going very strong. Because we have a lot more to offer than Austin does now. But I think cost of living you really need to think about other stuff too. And I lived in Austin for 10 years before coming out here. Um, and I mean, just groceries are going to be the same pretty much everywhere. I could certainly say just going out to eat, regular activities are a lot more affordable here. Going to the movies, um, it's just the crowd that was here and the restaurants that service it were not. I don't know. I noticed in Austin in like 2019, especially, shit just started. The cost of a cocktail went from being able to find one for $8 to like 15. Like they think and it's just because a lot of the restaurants in Austin are run by idiots.
Um, but so home sales price, our average is median or mean is we'll say 3 to 350. Um, these numbers and statistics are always pretty stupid and misleading, but and Austin was so stupidly inflated for a couple years there, and it still is, but
In Travis County, which is where Austin is located, was 611,000.
yeah,
And this was the
stupid. And like this was not justified. This is stupid hype and bubble like all these things are, but it was stupid. A lot of stupid people in this industry, but the Fed lowering rates to 2% is just fucking dumb. And now we have to have rates at 7% for many years to try and calm down inflation. Um, that looks kind of cool. um, let's change the background. I turn that off. Video. Anywho, so
10% increase from June of last year. For the same month, for June of this year, the
yeah,
median
this is
sales
August
price in
20. This was the peak, and this is when rates early 2022. At 2021, it was just stupid times with everyone bidding 50, 100 over. Come on, it's like don't be an idiot.
Bastrop County, where Bastrop is located, was
Yeah.
420,000.
Maybe,
So
I don't know.
190,000 difference between the median sales price from Travis County to Bastrop County. And the crazy thing is, this 420 is an increase from June of last year by 29%. So Bastrop is really similar to Kyle as far as cost of living. It's
I
below
think it has
average in
gone up
all
way more
categories,
than that.
except for transportation, which is 25% higher than the rest of the country. So the overall cost of living for Bastrop is just at the national average.
Whatever that
A
means.
huge
If you're talking about commuting to Austin, I'm like she's just pulling these numbers. Maybe from ABOR. I don't know where she got the cost of transportation from, but it's just kind of meaningless.
improvement from Austin, which is about 20% higher than the national average, mostly due to the high cost of housing. Part number three, outdoor activities. So known
Yeah, this is. I mean, we have the best nature in Central Texas, and the best people too. But it's I don't know. There's certain people and many people that come out here, including myself, that are just very attracted to pine trees. I grew up in New Jersey when I was younger and had pine trees everywhere. And there's something just very special and magical about them. And the lost pines. We live in a pine forest here, um, and it's just a beautiful ecosystem to be a part of.
as the heart of the Lost Pines, the city of Bastrop is famous for its beautiful outdoor views. So some of these are the revitalized Bastrop State Park, where you can see the famous Loblolly pine.
It's pretty cool. So we had this massive fire in 2011, and it burned down like 90% of the park. I don't know, it was like 30,000 acres. We'll do a video about that sometime. But you can go through the park and you'll see like where trails are. There's not a lot of shade because there's this burn scar, and you can still see a lot of the stumps and just burnt out trees. But it's awesome. Pine trees grow really quickly, and this is like part of the natural cycle that there's fire and rebirth, and you get to experience the regrowth. And I think in many ways that's even cooler than being able to come to a fully grown forest. Um, and like I've heard some podcasts with some older folks who've lived here, and I don't say I'm surprised, but it was disappointing. They were just talking about it was this defeatism of, they're saying how beautiful Bastrop was before the fire, and you'll never experience that again. And I'm like, so leave. Because I think the rebirth and the growth is actually um it personifies a lot of what this community is, and I think like Austin was like that for many years, and so I think it's beautiful. Anyway,
Trees or lost
and there's
pine?
lots of them that are still mature ones that are saved. Just Highway 21 north and of town is an incredible east town is an incredible drive, which is some absolutely beautiful pines.
Yes. These trees are unique to Texas Lost Pines Forest. The park covers nearly 6,000 acres where you can like.
Well, it's not the trees are unique to the forest. The forest and the trees itself are unique to the area. We're like couple hundred miles from the nearest pine forest, which, the piney woods out by Houston is more natural habitat, and usually it's going to be somewhat contiguous. Yeah, and um, we're kind of just out in the. And there's different theories. I think like it was connected at one point, and then you were talking like tens of hundreds of thousands of years ago. Um, and there's like I think it's a old uh, native legend of that some seeds were planted here, but it's pretty cool, and that's why it's called the Lost Pines again.
Like canoe, swim, and hike, all the fun stuff. There's also McKinney Rough's nature.
It's just this is what so much of all the content out there today is, and it's the BuzzFeedia of America, where like you just create content on shit that you have never done experienced yourself and you don't know about. So it's just fun. It's not none of it's wrong. It's just funny to listen to it. Um, yeah, it was great canoeing. I just did. It was an awesome trip with some friends from pretty close to Austin. We did a 3-day kayaking trip. We started at 973 right by the airport. And you can start if you want 6 miles up closer to the dam, Longhorn. Is it Longhorn Dam? The last one in Austin. Um, and then went all the way down to 969 here. And you can the shoreline is, except for a couple parks, is all private property, but any islands, and there's a number of islands on the Colorado River between here, between Austin and here. You can camp on, and it's just an amazing experience. Ran into one group of Boy Scouts the entire time. It's like completely undiscovered. Um, and the water's really good. Wasn't particularly high. There's a couple areas where you have to portage, but awesome, lovely trip. It's pretty magical. Um, yeah, there is also McKinney Rough's Nature Park. That is a true statement.
Park, which is an 1,100-acre park along the Colorado River with a trail system of up to 18 miles of trails for like hikers, mountain bikers, horseback riders. Yes.
Of up to like so it's McKinney Rough's is awesome, and it's also kind of a hidden gem. It's right on 71, right past 1209 next to the Hyatt, which is a real amazing place. And yeah, really good. LCRA is just real good people for the most part, and the staff there is great.
We're in Texas. There are horseback riders on all the trails, so watch out. The El Camino Real paddling trail is a 6-mile trail on the lake that will take you about.
Yeah, so this goes. So I said we got out at 969. If you go a few more miles, you'll end up in the city of Bastrop. I'll give the quick important lesson that there is the county of Bastrop, and then there is the city of Bastrop. That is the county. It's about 1,000 square miles. That is the city, about 10 square miles. The city is the county seat, so the capital of the county is one of 3 municipalities in the entire county. Smithville over here, which is cool. Elgin, which is less cool. And these are all unincorporated, just communities, essentially neighborhoods. We're probably 12,000 now. Smithville is, I don't know, 5,000. Elgin's got the highest population. They're just building like crazy, which is not a bad thing. They're maybe close to 15, or they're getting there. Anyway, so you want to paddle. If you want to paddle, you can get in over here. Would be the no, that's 35. Get over here. Where's that stupid little bridge? This is 130. This is 973. So that's where I got in. And but you can get in. This is the last dam here, right? Yeah, Bluestein, 183. No, where's that one where you go? Here it is, Pleasant Valley, right? Yeah, Longhorn Dam. Okay, you can get it over there, and you do this loop, but I think it gets really shallow here. But that would definitely be cool to do. And then you go follow the Colorado. So there's 969. You do that whole gorgeous loop there, and then you get to downtown. So there's a put in 969. There's a put in. This is where I'm in Riverside Grove, the best neighborhood in Bastrop, and we have a little we have a dock here by the park, and then the most common is in Fisherman's Park here, right downtown, and you can do that trail paddle. It's about 6 miles, I think, until Tahitian Village, and you get out over here or something, and of course you can continue, but that's what she's talking about, Camino Real.
1.5 to 4 hours, depending on how much time you spend fishing, hanging out in the water, or kind of how good you are at paddling and kayaking. So
Right.
part number 4 is it has a small town feel. If you're looking for a place to live near Austin that has a quieter type of living, Bastrop is a really good choice. So Bastrop's population is less than 10,000 people, and it's about
Not even.
45 minutes from Austin. So it definitely gives off a quaint, small town vibe that a lot of people who are moving to Austin or honestly.
So the big thing you have to realize is these surrounding communities, suburbs of Austin are, you have to pay attention to one, I think importantly, the county that they're in. So like, who decides how an area, a municipality is going to operate, um, and what defines kind of the culture, who are the people in that, and you have Travis County is basically all Austin, and then you have those little enclaves, and Austin kind of the seat of power there. And then Round Rock or Williamson has Round Rock. It's got Georgetown, Leander's up there, Hutto, all that other Pflugerville, and each municipality is its own entity and own neighborhood, but they don't. I don't know. I mean, I never felt any real culture or identity of like I'm a Round Rockian or a Landerin or a Cedar Parkian or a Pflugervillian. And I'm sure there are some, but I don't think it's even. I don't think the problem is even the growth, the rapid growth. They just kind of, and that's part of it. They I never felt like those communities. I guess I haven't been here that long, but I came 2012ish. Um, they just never seem to have a cohesive culture, just an identity. Like Bastrop is very, very much very unique, and it's always been its own place. Um, I mean, the most historic thing is like it's not just the numbers. It's like you gotta understand the history of Bastrop, and how it's always been not only unique, but and it's, but just very kind of punches above its weight in terms of influence and historical events and people that have lived here and come from here. So I think that small town feel is less to do with the amount of people and more to do with the amount of people, more to do with the people themselves. And I think that's that's why I think we are like we're changing constantly, but I think we can. I don't see any reason why we can't, as a city, get to 50, even 100,000. As has happened to all the ones up north, all the ones down south around Austin, and is going to happen here, and keep that authentic Bastrop. That's a magic word. Um, even as and the county populace, the county, we're kind of one and the same, and I mean, there's a lot that could be talked about there, but um, the county's going to get to 500,000 pretty freaking quick. It's um,
Moving away from Austin, enjoy. So for those of you who see this as a con, something to keep in mind is that Bastrop is
if you see it as a con, like don't come here. Like it's not. I don't know. Small town feel is is something I've always wanted. I enjoy cities and I've lived in cities, but you should come to Bastrop if you really want to be part of the community, not even a small town. If you want to be part of a community, and that means many things to different people, but like that's why you should move here. Um, I think what how the size of the community is people focus on that too much, and it's the quality matters a lot more, and it doesn't have to. It's not dependent on size.
is growing. It's definitely an up and coming town. It's grown by 30% in the last 8 years with a lot more development coming. Remember I said that I had 4 homes under contract all
4 homes. Yeah, like don't focus on that's not progress is not. We now have a bigger HEB, and they're getting a Target, and we're getting we're not getting they're not getting a Costco. I don't know if we're getting a Target, but like don't focus on stuff like that. Um, there's a lot more important things in where you choose to live, and if you care about stuff like that, just uh, Austin's your place.
at the same time in Bastrop. They were all new construction, and 3 of them were in the same neighborhood, the Colony. So the Colony is a huge development in Bastrop with multiple pools.
It's cool. If you're this um ladies client, Colony's probably a great place for you. But you're kind of, and it's very nice, very large subdivision, but I think it's very nicely done. I just I think to me, and again, everyone's got their own preferences, but you don't really have that community feel in the Colony, and I'm not sure it's ever going to develop. It's not built. I mean, they'll become somewhat contiguous with the city at a certain point, but to me, the two great things, and where most of my clients, are coming and are interested, is either you want to be part of the city, and that could be Bastrop or Smithville, but it's to be part of that small town, and or you are coming to live in the country and you want to be amongst the pines and have 5, 10 acres. But like if you're coming to live in the Colony, like that's your goal, like why not go to what is it, Circle C or any of the millions of subdivisions around Austin, and then you'll be closer to Austin. Um, but I that's probably not a fair statement and a blanket statement. And it's lovely homes, and it's good products out there, and you're very close to you're part of BISD, and you're very close to Bastrop to town, and it's a good easy commute. So I shouldn't really judge like that, but um, I love the Colony, and I've done plenty of deals here. I think I mean, the type of people that would see this and then call her up and say, "Hey, help me find a home in Bastrop," are you'd end up in the Colony, and like I think you're missing the point.
Amenity centers. It already has a middle school, and they're planning to build an elementary.
No, it doesn't have a middle school. You're wrong, and It has an elementary school that just opened last year, so after this video is made. It definitely does not have a middle school.
School in the
And by the way, like I'm gonna start just talking about real estate agents in general. Like, and this is why work with someone local. Even if they're not creating videos or reaction videos, like um, even a decent agent that's actually part of the community here and lives here and knows the community is going to serve you better than a broker from Austin. Because I consistently deal with these people and they don't understand. But like you're this is like a really serious thing. If I have a kid um that's in middle school, going into middle school, and I'm dependent on my broker or my agent to um I ask them questions like, and if all you're going to say is, well, go to the BISD website and you can find this information, like, no, you should know this shit. And you should help, at the very least, help them find that information and not just spew whatever you think, because people really will believe you and make decisions based off of what you say. So no, if you are in the colony, your kids are, I think you're districted to the Bastrop Middle School, which is right in my neighborhood. So it's not, the Colony Oaks, the elementary school is like walkable for a lot of families there. A middle school is not going to be. So you're right.
community as well. The colony is just off the main highway that takes you to Bastrop from Austin, but the neighborhood is tucked away so you don't hear any road noise or ruckus or anything like that. Remember, we said that the prices in Bastrop were way lower than in Austin, but from June to 2021 till 2022, median prices increased by 30%, which is crazy. There's
I don't know where she's pulling her numbers, but this is a nationwide inflation we had because we had interest rates that were too low.
a lot of opportunity in Bastrop and tons of growth happening here. Part number 5 is the proximity to Austin. So if you don't go down to Austin,
So this is the real, well, I don't want to give away her secret, but like the reason Williamson County and Hayes County are always going to be garbage is because you're going to be dependent on I-35 with their 7-year project to nowhere. You're never going to escape that shit. And 71 is actually amazing highway. And it's got issues, but it's actually getting better. And we need to move a little faster, but we're making progress on improving it and getting rid of lights, making it safer. But that highway fucking moves. You can get at least like after hours, say Friday night, go down. You can get from downtown Bastrop to downtown Austin, like 6th Street, in less than 30 minutes, easy. Like and this is why wrecks on the highway often end up so bad. But traffic on 71 can move at 90, 95 miles an hour pretty regularly.
a lot. If nightlife isn't your thing, but you want to be close enough to visit now and then you should be close enough in Bastrop. So for a lot of folks who like spending the majority of their time in the suburbs,
It's awesome. I thought I'd be going into Boston very frequently, and um I'll go like 6 months without stepping foot. And I love Austin, and there are times I'll go very frequently, but like you don't need to. If you work in Austin, I don't know. I think your priority, this is a different topic, should be work from home, and I think it's worth taking a significant salary cut. More importantly, I think you should, if you have had the opportunity to work from home, and then you're letting your boss, manager, company tell you that you have to come back into the old ways, like whatever.
living the quiet life, this might be just what you're looking for. Bastrop does have a really cool old downtown area. They have breweries and distilleries there,
That's my car.
all kinds of shops. It's kind of similar to They have breweries
Subarus are crap, by the way. Only get Toyotas.
and distilleries
Austin Subaru is a shitty dealer.
there,
But
all kinds of shops. It's kind of similar to the square in Georgetown, but I don't think that you can walk around with an open container in Bastrop.
yeah, I didn't think so either, but apparently you can. So, but great little piece of advice in comparison to George.
Side note, you can in Georgetown. So if you haven't seen my video about Georgetown, check that out right here. Grab a beer, grab
I should do a reaction video to her video of Georgetown, but I don't really know it and I don't really care, to be honest. Georgetown's an awesome community. Um, yeah,
grab a glass of wine and just walk around downtown. It's a lot of fun. So now let's talk about some of the cons of
there's more to life than uh, being able to drink while walking.
living in Bastrop. Con number one, lack of fun things to do. So
Um, yeah, I mean, it depends what you consider fun, and I suppose to some extent it's gonna depend on your age, but I think it's just what you consider to be fun. But cool.
Bastrop does have a lot of things to do. I just
There are
mentioned
things
it's
to
got a
do.
really cute downtown area and lots of
We have
outdoor
things to
stuff,
do.
some breweries and bars and restaurants, but these are just limited due to the town being so small. But if you are
Not
looking
necessarily
to
a
get into
bad
live
thing. It's
music,
kind of cool. Like, um, I go to the same, I don't know, 5, 10 restaurants regularly, and I'm also like friends and neighbors with the staff and the owners and everyone that's there. And having a million choices in Austin is not um, all it's cracked up to be. Especially since a lot of them are garbage and a lot of them are the same, and you don't. It's again, it's a completely different experience, and I think it's a different personality that likes this and enjoys it. But like going out to eat downtown, to do things in your community with your community, just like I go out with my wife and kids, and I'm consistently running to 20 people I know, and it's awesome, and you're never gonna experience that in Austin. It's too big, it's too transitory, it's um the people are there's too many assholes, you know.
scene, going to big events and the festivals, for that, you're going to have to go to Austin. This one really just depends on your
I'm like so I lived right by Zilker for many years. And like I went to ACL maybe the first 3 years. And I'm like, if you live in Austin, you realize after a while you're like, this shit's so stupid, and it's fun once in a while, but it's like it gets old really quick. So if you live in Austin because you want to go to ACL every year and go to South by,
perspective and what you like to do. But if the Austin type stuff is your jam, this could be a really big con for you.
yeah,
I
don't
kind
move
of think
here.
of Bastrop as like what Austin used to feel like.
Very, very accurate. And I hear that from a lot of old timers who were, OG Austinites. And, that Bastrop has the feel of what, obviously on a different scale to some extent, but what Austin was in maybe like the 80s, early 90s. It's kind of early 90s when Austin really started becoming discovered and blowing up and like tech started taking off. So, yeah.
It's kind of like a mini older Austin. It definitely has a small town vibe.
I got to give her credit. She's like, for someone who doesn't live here and I think misses a number of the important points. She also hits on a number of very good points. So props to her.
And there is live music here. They do have an annual live music festival, and it's still kind of
Cool.
boho. I would compare Bastrop to Lockhart as far as like the small town.
Yeah, Lockhart's kind of garbage in comparison. I do like Lockhart, but they don't come close to um, the authenticity that authentic Bastrop has to offer.
Feeling that also has some Austin flair to it. Con number two is job opportunities. So again, Bastrop is
Yeah, like if you're working in tech or in sales, frankly, and that's my background, like why the fuck are you going into an office anymore? So um yeah, if you can work from home, and any decent engineer should be able to do that. Like, we're all adults here. And it's a great opportunity. If you're someone who's commuting in every day, good luck. I don't think it's that fun, but there's plenty of people that do it.
Is a small town. It's got a population of 10,000 people. With that small population, there just aren't going to be a whole lot of jobs available. The largest employer in town is the Hyatt.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like it's like these are entry level jobs. Maybe 20 an hour, um, and they have pretty high turnover. That's Highlands Pine's an awesome place, but that's not you're it's not a real employer or job opportunity like you'd have in Austin. But we do have them now, and that's SpaceX and Boring Company. SpaceX in particular, like there's hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and it's only expanding. And obviously, Tesla is right on the border, really, between Austin and Bastrop. And it's frankly, if you ask Elon, he's going to tell you he built it in Bastrop. So we got some pretty good employers here.
Regency, Lost Pines Resort and
And I bet a lot of the Tesla employees are in the colony.
Spa, which may or may not be somewhere that you want to work, but you will definitely want to check it out while you're there. Side note, it is gorgeous. They have a lazy river running through the property. You can go hiking and horseback trail riding. It really is like a nice getaway just away from the city. It's gorgeous. So back to the employment. With few employment opportunities, this means you're likely to have to drive to Austin for work, unless you have a job working from home or something along those lines.
Like COVID,
You'll definitely
everyone
need to
was
think
working
about
from home.
commuting time if
Still
you're
do.
thinking about buying a home in Bastrop and working in Austin. Of my 4 clients who bought homes here, one relocated down here from Michigan and he works in Tesla. Bastrop is on the east side of Austin, so it's a pretty easy commute to the Tesla Gigafactory. The others work remotely, 100%. So they wanted to live close to Austin, but they didn't want to pay the Austin price tag. They also wanted to be somewhere a little bit quieter than Austin. Con number 3 is proximity to Austin. So I know I listed this as a pro, but really a lot of the cons and pros are depending on your perspective and the lifestyle that you want to live. The con part is if you want to go downtown a lot, if you want to hang out, go to shows, go to the museums, Bastrop is a long drive. And you might find yourself just like not going to Austin, kind of saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with the traffic. I don't want to deal with the commute. I'm just going to hang out here. And like we said, there's still some really cool stuff to do in Bastrop. So it's not really like you're missing out or you're going to be sitting at home, you know, with Blockbuster all night. But during peak hours, getting from downtown Austin to Bastrop can be an hour drive, if not more, depending on traffic, construction, all those things. So if hanging out in Austin is a big priority for you, Bastrop may not be a very good choice. The 4th con is traffic. So Austin roads were not built to handle the amount of cars that it now has, which has led to constant traffic issues that Austin and the surrounding areas are trying to deal with. So with Bastrop being a little further out from Austin than other towns, you
Yeah, so
might find yourself on the road a lot, and that's going to mean more time stuck in traffic. So you can expect long travel times, especially in the
yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, I think the city is doing really well, kind of staying out of infrastructure, and it's still going to be a challenge. The county, not so much, but I don't know. TxDOT's doing a good job with our roads here, so it's getting into Austin is actually not that bad. But once you're in Austin, good luck.
in the morning or afternoon, like typical rush hour times. Con number 5, Bastrop has got like a so-so school system. The Bastrop ISD received an overall rating of C by the Texas Education Agency in 2018, which means acceptable performance. Now, acceptable isn't bad when you compare to some of the other suburbs like Round Rock and Lee.
Yeah, this is I'm gonna say area of opportunity for us. There are, I think, demographic challenges, and um, there's probably also systemic issues within, a school district is always just people at the end of the day. But I've met a lot of really amazing people that work in the district, and I believe in BISD, as we like to say here. Um, Whether I send my kid there is another question, but he's not at that age yet. But it's definitely the school. No, I could think you could objectively say our schools are not as good as probably at least what you have available to you in a Round Rock. Definitely not as good as like an Eanes or out in you know Lakeway, Westlake, all that stuff. But I don't know. The kids here are pretty awesome, and I think there's good opportunities, and I think the key for a good school experience and system is engaged parents. So I know a lot of amazing people that grew up in the school system here, and I think they love it and they send their kids there. So there's always different factors, but she's not wrong on this.
Which have excellent school rating.
And there are there are charter schools, some private schools that are here that are quite good, and we're going to see a massive just explosion in growth over the next 5-10 years of schools here, and the ISD, taxpayers have given them a significant amount of money recently, and hopefully they use it well.
Bastrop falls a little short. I mean, think about it if your kid came home with a C. Would you be very excited about that? So this may not be a big deal if you don't have kids, but even if you don't, school system rankings do affect your home value. So if you decide to sell your home at some point, this may be a factor to consider. Now, I talked in another video that school rankings affect home value. I want to give this a caveat and just say this mostly applies to the suburb area. So the city of Austin is the most expensive area in the area when you talk about price per square foot, and just like any other inner city town, the schools here are not awesome. So something to keep in mind when we talk about like the schools directly affecting the property value or the appreciation of the property, we're really talking about like suburb areas like Lakeway, Cedar Park, and Bastrop. But really, when we're talking about inner city, the demand alone is going to drive those prices up versus the school zones. So if you're thinking about moving to Austin but you're not really sure where to look, check out this video about Georgetown. Remember, you can walk around the square with them.
Anyway, pretty cool. For someone who doesn't live here and doesn't really know anything about it, it's not a bad video. Who's this? I thought it was gonna be me. About what? I like it's a little booger. Uh, militia hotbed. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, this is not at all true, and it hasn't been in a while. And I don't know if it was, and it probably was. Just shut the fuck up. Um, I really, honestly, I've experienced less um in your face social conservatism here than I've seen in uh in Austin. It's really it's a really cool, interesting group of people that live here, and there's a lot of the there's a lot of old hippies that have been here for like many decades. And what an average Austinite would call a conservative. They're like they're very genuine, friendly people. Um, but I found them to be way more open-minded than, frankly, most Austin liberals, um, and certainly more than most your average conservative, that whatever you think that is, around the country. But like, shut the fuck up. We're nothing like Viter. Okay. Yes, we do. Our population is, I believe, well into majority of Hispanic folks, and they're awesome, and that's part of why it's a makes the community great. I don't know anyway, I can't stand these people. Like, uh, big fucking deal. You've been here your whole life, and like you don't want it to change. Well, guess what? Like, look at Austin. This shit does change, and if you stick your head in the sand, like Austin did for 50 years and continues to do, you're not going to stop the growth, and you're not going to stop your change. It's just going to be much shittier. So, um, what makes Bastrop great is that um, community is very active and involved, and they care about the community and they want to preserve it. And that doesn't mean stopping growth. That means being leaders and stepping up and welcoming new people and setting a good example of what it means to be a neighbor. So, peace out. If you want to buy something here, give me a call. I actually live here. I know it, and I'm a better agent than anyone you're going to find in Austin. Take care.